Hello again, everyone, and welcome to Pedal to the Metal Racing Series. Tonight we are live at Charlotte Oval, presented by Trackin for your mobile devices. If you're looking for a good dirt track racing game to play on the go, look no further than Trackin for your mobile devices, done on iOS and Android devices. Tonight, as we have said before, we are in Charlotte Oval, the wild card race that was chosen by the winner of last week. This is a big race for many drivers out there because they need the win. There's many drivers that need the win and need to secure their spot into the top four for the playoffs. My guest commentators tonight are as followed: Sean Siddle and Grim Sanity. Thank you guys so much for joining me tonight. Sean, tell me how are we looking on the track tonight?
Well, the track is split up into 3 stages tonight. The full race is 100 laps. We have 22 laps stage 1, 22 laps stage 2, and the final stage is 56 laps. The fuel range is 27 laps, so the final stage, I imagine there will be a few pit stops.
All right, that sounds pretty good. Grim Sanity, I see you've been looking up on the cars tonight. How are we looking for the drivers wise?
Oh yeah. On the outside, looks like Rowdy's starting out outside him. We got a big, they're really close to in time, so it's going to be interesting to see how well, because the gap between them, Dylan ran a 29.948 with Rowdy running almost a 30 flat. So it's going to be really close between them guys tonight, looking in their playoff picture. So.
Indeed, indeed. It is definitely a close race and close battle. Extremely excited to see how this race goes as we get the stream up and running here, folks. Thank you for being very patient with us there as we go live here at Charlotte Motor Speedway, the Oval, tonight. It looks like already up in front. Currently, Dylan following behind. Let's see who we got there. That is currently No Pit Pendel. He currently leads the pack as Dylan now tries to make his move, going down low into the straightaway here. As they go into turn one, still Dylan down low. Looks like he makes his move, gets past No Pit Pendel. As they come out of turn two, Dylan starting to increase the lead, but Pendel is not giving an inch. He is closing the gap with the draft there.
I don't know what's happening, guys, but we are not getting the live feed from the car, from the portals.
That's okay. I think we got a pretty good race going up here right now on the front end as No Pit Pendel is still battling it out with Dylan. And keep in mind, folks, Pendel has secured his spot into the series for the playoffs. However, Dylan, if he'll win tonight, he will indeed book his spot into the top four.
I will say from retrospect, Pendle races with Giggity. And he's a very strong competitor on our side as well. It looks like it never fails to amaze me when you see him race in any league that he runs in either. He's a very fast and clean driver.
Indeed, he is. He's one of our best on the series.
As soon as I say that,
it's just spun out.
As soon as I say it, that's that commentator curse. As soon as I said something about Pendle, he just loops it down the backstretch.
Tough break for Pendle already, but a good break in my opinion for Dylan to maintain his lead and stay away from the field as he tries to win stage one to get that elusive point.
Well, as it goes, guys, we are still caution-free after that accident.
Quite impressive to say the least.
Stretching it there. As we look here, just beginning of this race, guys, we talk about that point playoff picture here for points. The way Dylan is, Dylan might, if it would, let's say it's early right now, from being stage here at 1, but if it would end right now, he'd have a good points day right now going after this race. I mean, it's a long race to go here, with 100 laps here at the Rebel, so anything can happen wise.
Yeah, Dylan looks like he is flying around this track.
He is indeed a tough competitor when it comes to the series and how he runs. It's hard to believe, though, that he has yet to win a single event in all the asphalt tracks He has a dirt track win, we'll keep that in mind, but he has yet to win on asphalt this entire season. He looks to right the shift tonight.
I'm just looking at I believe it is Thunder that is in second place.
I believe it is. I've been trying to look here, wise. Let's see. Yeah, that is Thunder in the 38 here. 38 Camaro running second behind Ryan. I mean, he's not pulling. I mean, Dylan's pulling a little bit away, but Thunder's not that far off him. It's like that they're about evened out.
Mm-hmm.
With that other pack behind him, it has King Joey, Pottles, and let's see who's in that car behind it.
I'm just trying to find
that's Rowdy. Yeah, Rowdy's over there.
Yeah, I am on board with number 5, the Bottles at the minute. She is just holding that third place.
I'll say, guys, this track is. Oh, it's actually. I thought we were running Rebel tonight, guys.
Oh, what was that?
I thought we were running the Rebel tonight.
No, this is the oval.
Oh, I thought you guys said Rebel.
No, it's the oval.
This isn't Red Rover, follow me over.
Yep, alright, so, anyways, guys, I'll tell you now, Charlotte is, because, again, me and the trucks we were just here. This track is very hard, because, again, sometimes you can lose your speed going into 1 and 2 and gain it back in 3 and 4, or you have the issue where you lose your speed in 1 and 2 and then gain it back in 3 and 4. Because it's kind of weird. It's just determining how well you get your entry and exit off of this corner, especially with having the ability to control with older tires later on the run here. Turn 4 is going to be very treacherous because you'll get loose.
Well, let's say I was running it just like an hour ago, and on presets it was just awful. I just could not get a grip of it at all.
Yeah, this track is like it's a driver's track. Either you know how to drive it or you don't. That's pretty much how it is.
This track to me is, I've always kind of used this expression very loosely, but I feel like this track is very similar in ways to Texas, to where that final corner in the both turn and 4, that's so easy to go down low and go back up high, but it also is extremely easy if you go down too low with too much speed. It's easy just to spin that car around and head right for the dirt or right down to the wall.
At the end of turn 3 and 4, there is a slight bump. And if you hit that going squint, it will certainly chop you out and spin you if you are not careful. It's just a bump when you come down the hill just at the start of pit row. If you hit that wrong, it will spin you and you will lose it.
As we see here, well, since we're coming onto a long run right now, Ryan's really stretched his legs right now.
Dylan.
Or Dylan. Dylan, I don't like you calling him Ryan. Dylan.
Force of habit.
Yeah. Dylan. Oh, we got contact.
Yeah,
here
we got contact down there. Yeah, it looks like that was that looks like Kayla McCarthy. That's right, folks. We have another female. It's not just the Pottles as you see here. Kayla McCarthy is a tough racer. She's been in this business for quite a bit. She's still wanting to get that one as well.
I tell you, there is a good fight with the Pottles in second and.
I believe that's actually third right there.
Sorry.
Yeah, the number 5 Pottles currently in 3rd place with Rowdy falling right behind her. And keep in mind, folks, since Rowdy had shown up tonight, he has secured his spot into the top 4, which leaves out Thunder, at J.D. Atkins, Dylan, Naughty Milk Duds, and King Joey as the final drivers looking for that top 4 spot.
I just can't believe how Dylan is pulling away so easily from this pack.
Seeing we get a good view of where he's at right now.
Especially under presets where you'd think it would be a level playing field, but he is just pulling away, and Thunder is pulling away in second as well.
He's definitely hitting his marks down in the turns and really hitting the straightaways as good as he should. But my question to Dylan is he able to maintain this for all stages? Because here's the thing, you can win one stage, but if you get to that second one, everything can change in a heartbeat.
Oh yeah, and in mind to just going on that too as well, this track can change a lot. Like if you think that you're just one setup's gonna work through the whole race, you're sadly mistaken. Because as we see Puddles hits the outside wall there.
Paul's going down low, pushing Rowdy
down.
down into the grass there. He's starting his own lawn care service here, right, folks?
Well, that's the green on the car, so.
That was it, that bump that I was just telling you about, folks. It is deadly. If you hit that wrong, it will throw you.
Throws you for a loop, and I guess it starts your own business while you're at it. So, but meanwhile, Kayla McCarthy, excuse me, she is now making some moves as well, trying to get her name into this.
Yeah, as I was saying about the car lines, guys, you can literally have knowing that you had a good setup coming into this race, but at the same time is each stage the car does adapt a different way. So does the track itself. So you gotta keep on adjustments, just like in real life with NASCAR. You gotta keep on top of it, or if not, you're not gonna have the car you had before.
Indeed, yeah. This track to me is just, for what I've raced on and what I've seen, it is just, it can eat tires up, it can eat a car up, it can do everything in which way, but just give you the win. It is so easy to mess up on this track if you don't hit your marks.
I see there's a few people taking some different lines around the corners. There's people sticking to the bottom, there's people sticking to the middle. I take it it's just personal preference, am I right?
I would say so, because pretty much when I run here, I always try to go up high and then I'll take it down low and just hold that line in there till I get out of the exit point. I'll go straight into hug the wall there and go straight into the corners there as well. That's kind of my thing. Glenn, what were you gonna, or Zandy, what were you gonna say there? I didn't mean to interrupt you there, buddy.
Oh, you're good, man. He was saying about lanes wise, it could be a preference of now where they're going on a long run here, saving the right side tires. Again, because it's going to eat them right sides here wise. I mean, they're really bad in trucks, and they get worse for the series because depending on what wear times you're running. So if you run the high side, it's going to save the right side at the same time as though it's going to eat your right rear. So you got to mind what lane you got to run to actually save both side tires at the same time. That's why you keep seeing people moving up to a lane and moving down a lane, because in retrospect, it's actually evening the wear of the tires on the right side.
And as we go right into the straightaway here, down in turn 3 and 4, Rowdy has some company. That looks to be Sparkalicious of the number 66. He is trying to make his moves.
Pottles has just hit the wall. She's hit the wall again.
She's right in the wall indeed, yes. She's not had a very good season in Xfinity. She's actually way lower in the points here than she has been in any other series up to this point. It's hard to believe for a driver of her caliber.
I believe that's stage 1 over with, guys. The cars are coming to a slow stop.
Stage 1 at a complete stop finally, so that was 22 laps of stage 1. As we go into stage 2, it's the same thing there, 22 laps. And here is the fuel mileage for these guys. So this is something they're going to have to really pay attention when they get to the third stage. There's only 27 laps you get in that fuel. And if in a 100 lap race, that's going to be extremely important for these guys. I'd say more so than their tires.
While they're doing their pits thing, do you want to give a mention to our kind sponsors?
Oh, indeed, yes. Tonight, for the Xfinity playoff final race before we get to the playoffs, we need to give a huge thank you to our sponsors tonight, Trackin for mobile devices. Again, if you find yourself wanting to have a good time on the go, but you can't quite get to the show, Trackin will make you feel like you're at the show and the dirt and in the track. As we get the line back up here to the straightaway, everyone full sailing, lining up. Getting ready to start, and they're off. It's time to go pedal to the metal here, boys. Here we go.
I see Thunder's dropped back a position on the grid there. I wonder if the number 2 car's just done something different in his pit stops.
It could be, but right now Dylan, yet again, trying to get out the early lead. But look at this, Thunder. Ooh, Thunder and Rowdy getting a little bit bumpy there. Contact indeed, as we got a good line draft as they come into turn 3. With the draft getting out now, Thunder looks to have his spot. Rowdy up high, trying to get back down low.
Oh.
Whoa. Little bit of bumping right there.
Rowdy saved it on the high side. He tried to keep that high side as much as possible, not to get at anybody. Good driving there by Rowdy.
Rowdy is one of those drivers that you can't help but just like and respect for how clean he is and how hard he will race when he needs to win. As we look behind Dylan currently, we get a good look at the field as drivers are passing by down below. And right behind Dylan is Thunder. Now Thunder and Dylan are two drivers looking to maintain position and get into the top 4. More so Dylan than Thunder. Thunder, if he can stay up in the 2nd place, he will lock in the 3rd spot, but that 4th spot is still anybody's race till the end.
Hey guys, look who's coming in 3rd right now.
I was just going to say, if I was that 2nd and 3rd car to work together to get in the back of Dylan's draft, I'd be patient, just try and stick to the bumper of that car.
The old Talladega logic: use what you can and work with anyone as much as you can in order to catch up to the leaders.
Because Dylan is pulling away from the back of the car, and these two are struggling to stay on his bumper.
But I also wonder and question, how much are these guys just preserving right now? Because the thing is, the more you preserve on this track, the better you are for that finish when you really need to push it and really maintain that control coming out of turn 2 and 4. As the pack slowly starts to settle off here, Thunder, and I believe that, who might that be there? I can't quite tell. Oh, that number 42, that's Pendle.
I am managing to get the onboard camera up on the screen now so we can see which laps they're on and what the fuel's doing now. We're about live. Just hoping my phone will load quick enough so we can see this.
Yeah, we can get a live idea of like what we got going on right now. We can figure out what the laps are, especially for stage 3 when these drivers really need to maintain position to hit those marks.
I mean, look at these 3 cars. They are just pulling away from that 4th place. They must just be hanging on to the draft.
Yeah, right now it looks like No Pit Pendle actually made a move around Thunder there as he now holds on to 2nd place. Thunder again trying to get into the 3rd place spot for the final playoff series. But Dylan, right now, the most impressive.
I'm just looking at Portal's car. Her front right is going down really, really quick compared to the rest of the tyre, so it must be a problem managing that front right tyre.
Looks like we got one car down below. Looks like that is Sparkalicious. Tough break for him having to get out of the race so early like that. He will be a lap down as they come around.
Alright guys, we see right now there's a battle heating up for the lead right now. As Pendle takes it to the outside coming into turn 3 here. See, take a look here why it's on Dylan here.
Still on the rear, Dylan right now. Pendle trying to find a way around him as they go into turn 1 and 2. Here they come. Pendle going outside, gonna make his move. No, not enough. Dylan gives him a little bit of the door, but catches the draft of him as well. That may be costly as they go into the straightaway here.
Yeah, it's really hard to try to make an outside move here. I mean, if you don't got the momentum on your side, that bottom lane's the preferred lane. So if you don't get it, it's kind of hard to make that pass.
Guys, I'm just noticing here I got the stage wrong. Stage 2, there is only 19 laps, not 22.
Only 19 laps for stage 2?
Yeah.
Small error on our end. Remember, folks, we're not perfect at this, but then again, who is?
I've just noticed looking at Portal's onboard screen now. She's
wait a minute. I hate to interrupt you there, Sean, but it looks like Pendle has actually made a move to the outside. He has got some momentum on Dylan here. Going to the outside, trying to get it to work. Dylan still maintaining that position as they come out of turn 4. Ooh, it is close, but Dylan yet again puts the door to Pendle, blocks him in. I gotta believe Pendle is holding back a little bit, though, just because of how early it is. And just a quick little shout out here to our comment section and everyone that's watching at home. Thank you so much for tuning in. We appreciate your support. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe if you could. That would help us out greatly. But our shout out to Gigabyte TA. Thanks for tuning in, man. We appreciate it. As still a battle right here. Pendle getting a little loose out of the straightaway. Looks like there could be some error going on with the tires. Or it might just be he's trying to battle so hard with Dylan. Might just have some problems.
I'm just on board with Rowdy here. He is sitting in 5th place, but he's having such a battle with that 00 car.
And here they go again.
Still trying, man. He's still trying to get that outside work here.
It's so easy to mess up on this track, but yet it's so easy to also take advantage of a mess up on someone else's end. It's really a matter of just being patient and waiting for the right moments and the right time to strike. Still back and forth between Pendle and Dylan. No one's giving an inch. Dylan getting into the dirt there a little bit, trying maybe starting his own lawn care service. Pendle still right there with him. Now, Graham, I got to ask you real quick. In this series,
yes,
what most impresses you right now, since you're a little bit new to the broadcasting scene with us? What of those drivers makes you impressed, or what really stands out for you the most when you see these guys?
Fast and clean. Really fast and clean drivers here. We see Pendle right now finally gets underneath Dylan here. See again, side by side. Yeah, side by side racing, man. It's amazing here. So we look back to look through here, guys. There's a lot of good, like, spread out clean racing. Everybody's giving each other room. It's great. Great racing, honestly.
As Pendle comes out of turn 4, he has indeed finally got the position off of Dylan. Dylan knows he needs to stay with him, though. He has to stay up in the top positions if he wants to make it into the playoff series. Again, folks, Dylan has yet to win in a race this entire season. If he's going to do it, it's going to probably be tonight if he needs it most.
I mean, every series these guys run, it's always fast and clean. Oh well, give them that. Even you could say that when you run, you try and keep it clean.
Oh,
yeah, Xer and I, when I first started as a rookie, I was not quite the best driver on that. I usually try to stay in the back and watch these guys do it. Nowadays, I'll jump right in. I'll say, you know what, I'm gonna race y'all. That's how I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, I remember your first race, you were so nervous and you did not want to challenge anybody. You didn't even want to qualify in case you got into people's way.
Hey man, you know, when you start a brand new series and you're just a rookie, sometimes it's just better to play fair and just let them show you how it's done.
I don't know, man. I must admit, I did try and force the issue now again when I joined. I wasn't patient.
I will say, guys, right now, look at this. I mean, I was gonna say, I feel like Pendle's got the long run car here, but look at this. Dylan's still not off his back bumper here either. So I was gonna say, it looks like Dylan's car's a little bit loose on the long run for him. I mean, I think that'd be a suggestion, like maybe a adjustment in that third stage to get it going here for him.
Well, this is a problem. I'm just looking at Paul's on screen, 2 laps to go, and her tyre light is on. It is on and it is shining.
That is not good to say the least. How many laps do we have, Bill? That's my biggest question there.
2 laps remaining there, and lap 18 out of 19.
18 out of 19 as now Pendle passes. We're in the final lap of stage 2. So let's see if Piles can last it out. Now, before we go into the stage 2, I got to ask you real quick. Whoa!
Sorry, guys. There was 3 wide situation. It started out of 4 when, I'm trying to think who that was, guys. Sorry. It was King Joey. He must have went way too high in 4, tagged the wall, and he dropped it down low. And then literally Rowdy and I believe it was the 00 of
That'd be JD Atkins there.
Yeah, both of them, they went 3 wide going. I think that was probably the end of the stage there. They went 3 wide going across the finish line.
That is definitely something to say the least, with this track being as hard as it is, that you have to be careful, but you also want to take risk. It's so easy to just make the mistake, though, to say the least.
Oh, yeah.
We got to give one more shout out, though, to our sponsors tonight, Dirt Trackin for mobile devices. Again, folks, if you want some dirt tracking racing on the go and you can't quite get to it, Download this app on your iOS and Android devices, and you'll have yourself a great time throwing some sliders and some haymakers at your driver's dispense. As we look up front here, it looks like Pendle, Thunder, and Dylan have traded positions off that pit. As we go pedal to the metal one more time, Stage 3 has begun. And Grim, I gotta tell you, man, it's going to be difficult seeing how these drivers are with that long run. But we'll see if they can hold it off and get the fuel when they need to.
Oh yeah, most definitely here. I mean, again, I'm wondering if Dylan Lilly thought at the end of that stage 2, saying, "Hey, I'm a little loose on the run. Maybe figure out how to make it tight for the end of the run." I mean, it's going to be kind of hard as we see.
Ooh, get a little bumpy there, McCarthy, and Pottles into the wall there, out and out.
Joey King Joey hard in that wall there, man. He's got a lot of right side damage right now.
I think that really just separated the pack out there. That is a big move. Wait a minute, Pendle has gone out. What has happened to Pendle?
I think it was just a clip on the wall and it just threw him, to be honest, looking at it.
And Dylan now takes the lead. Pendle back on the track. At least he is running again, but my goodness, could not see what happened there.
Well guys, I believe we're on the final 50 laps at this point.
50 laps to go. We're halfway there in the halfway point. Again, folks, if you are not liking, sharing, subscribing this channel, you are missing out on some great stuff right now. And Thunder and Rowdy now, they're going to the wall after turn 2. Thunder drops back. That's going to be huge for him because he needs to stay in position to get to the top 4 for the playoffs.
Remember guys, if it stays like this and we go green for pits, there could be a big mix-up going down to pit road. Because they will have to stop for fuel. 27 laps of fuel to have.
I feel like it's only a matter of time before we really see something big and chaotic, in my opinion, that will happen. But I believe we'll see that a little later in the race. I don't know why I got that feeling, but it seems like every track you just always kind of wonder, like, what can happen, what will happen, and who will win.
Well, it just takes one mistake from any driver to throw a caution and it could mix up the whole race.
As fast as these guys run and how hard they run, it's not surprising there, but I think a lot of that has to do with the track and just the amount of mental stability they have in their cars and on their head. So Sean, what are we seeing right now with the way the rest of the field's looking right now? I got a pretty good advantage from my end, but what are you seeing down there?
There is a lot of tough battles going on throughout the field. I've got to flip through because I was looking at the front car. But you might have to get back to me till I find the pack that I'm looking for.
I'll tell you right now, guys, I'm looking here. I've actually been riding on Pendle for the last couple laps. He is slowly making his stride back here to get back up from, I guess, the altercation or misfortune he had to actually get back up here. He's running them leaders down. The bad part is, though, I know Pendle's a smart driver, but for this stage-wise, running your tires off that much, is it going to have anything for them when you get to him?
Well, I am on board with Thunder at the minute, and he is pushing that 4th place car. He is definitely wanting in on the mix. If these 3 cars can keep drafting, I think they'll catch up with the leaders.
It looks like Pendle has moved into 3rd place, while Thunder and I believe the number 23, that is Milk Duds, have maintained their position.
As I say, it could all change at pit stops. It depends what strategy these drivers are using.
I feel like when we get to those pit stops, that may be where everybody starts to think, okay, I'm kind of down and out right now, or I may be up ahead, but what do I do to make sure that I stay up ahead, or how do I get back up to the top? And right now, Pendle definitely showing how to get back up to the top. But I think we got a good battle right here with 38, Thunderfunk, and Naughty Milk Duds, and the number 23 as Thunder goes down low. Says Naughty Milk Duds, hey, you ain't getting, I am not losing this. I want in that top 4.
So saying-wise, guys, we're in stage 4 here, looking at points. Again, I'm new here, and the pedal to the metal league here. Looking at points, if the race would end right now, how would points be setting going into the next race?
If we literally were going to finish right now, I believe we would have Dylan, Rowdy, Pendle as a top 3. Dylan would have enough to edge by, I believe that would be JD Atkins, Milk Duds, and King Joey. because right now it looks like Atkins is way back in the field.
The double zero's been hitting the wall twice and letting Grandpa through.
He's now, that is the 00 JD Atkins. And again, right now, his chances of getting into the top 4 are looking slimmer and slimmer. But again, anything can happen here, folks. It doesn't matter where you're at right now, because when that pit stop comes and you make your adjustments, it can all change in a minute.
And I'll repeat what we got told last night. Grandpa reckons he is the best looking guy in this league.
Hey, he reckon he's the best looking guy all he wants. I mean, I'll throw some haymakers at him. We're on the track, and I'll say, well, you may be the best looking, but I'm the one that can fight the most. We got a good look at
sitting on board with 74 now. He is coming up. He is trying to fight for the inside of that 89 car.
You get a good look real quick at Milk Duds here. He's still in the hunt. Currently, he has 114 points. Dylan with 115, but he is currently leading the pack. Thunder at 121, and JD Atkins right now is all but seemingly done and out, at least for this stage. Ooh, Milk Duds gets in the wall, and he goes straight down into the barrier there.
Yeah,
that is
they
big problems.
Yeah, they were coming out of 2 Pottles and then touched towards mid-center of the track. He came down, Pottles went up, and they bounced off each other.
Guys, I'm going to say this. We must have missed a crash because the number 7 King Joey, he has got a lot of front-end damage on that number 7.
That was earlier. That was earlier in the race. Earlier, actually, in this first stage. It was actually the beginning of the stage. He got shuffled back and got put in the outside wall down the front stretch. That's why he got that lot of damage on the right side.
And I need to make a huge apology right now to King Joey because I'm mistaking him for Kayla McCarthy. I believe Kayla actually drives the one of the other red car. I can never remember the version of that.
Well, JD, sorry, Chris, but JD is now in the pits.
JD is now in the pits. Oh. Man, that is going to be a tough break for JD. He really wanted this win tonight. He needed to get into that final spot. That's a huge, tough break for him.
It was a fairly long pit stop as well. So I don't know if he's going to try and make it to the end of the race with 1 pit.
He could be trying to maybe trying to outlast the other drivers when they have to go to the pits. It could be.
Well, we've done 62 laps according to my calculations.
Currently, the number 9 of Dylan still maintaining the lead. He may be setting to run up a little bit for the longer run there. Grim, what are you thinking?
Might be. I mean, think about it. Like you said, they need to pit 1 time in this stage in general. So that might have been a strategy call. Say, hey, I saved my stuff while these guys run it all out, and then when crunch time comes, I'll be there at the end.
Could be a bold strategy. Could be a good move on Dylan. It's kind of hard to say, though, because I don't want to use this term too badly on him and not make him sound bad, but I always call Dylan my box of chocolates. I never know what I'm going to get with him. I can either get great racing all around, or I can get a little all over the place, and unfortunately one mistake just costs him.
I'm going to say this, the field is fairly split up now. There's a big gap between all cars.
Yes, indeed.
I can only see first and second place is close enough to make a move.
First and second currently trying to make a move. Rowdy, that is Rowdy of the number 2. And no pit Pendle. Say what you want about Pendle, folks, but clean racing and hard racing will get you to there. My question is, how long will those tires last? Because he had to have tore up something.
Well, guys, I was just looking at the plot of screen here. She has got 11 laps of fuel remaining, so I reckon there's about 9 laps of fuel remaining now. So the pit stops will be coming fairly quick in the next few laps, I believe.
What's the lap count look like there?
They'll be on 66 out of 100.
66 out of 100. That's definitely going to be a little tricky to say the least, but if I would make a suggestion to them, I would say run your car out as long as you can until the time is needed to get back in the pits and get some gas. Take a good look here as Sparko. Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, I'm just shocked that my guess was right about the laps.
Bottles is down and out in the turn there. Out of turn 2, it looks like. Oh, we got. Looks like we're going to caution here, folks. I was about to say we had troubles there.
This could mean big changes to the race. They might get away with not pitting now after this caution.
There's some big damage on Thunderfunk there. His whole front end absolutely tore up. That's going to be a repair in its own right. Pottle's also unfortunately going through some damage. Let's take a look at Milk Duds there. He looks like he's okay. He should be not too much damage. But it looked like Pottles went straight down. She has a bit of damage on the front end. She went up high in turn 1, and then it looks like she came straight down into the barriers there down below on the apron. JD Atkins hopefully going to get his lap back.
On that caution, we had 7 laps of fuel left with 35 laps remaining. And remember, you get 27 laps of fuel per tank.
Look at this, guys. Look who is up front right now. It is King Joey and Dylan. But I believe King Joey already had to go in the pit, so unfortunately he actually just dropped back down. I think he's just trying to get out of the way of these guys.
That's mature racing by King Joey, noticing that and going to the back just to make sure they can have a fight for the first place at front.
If you can always have a good race battle for the end, let them run. That's what I've always been taught. As they're going to go down low into the turn here and out of turn 3 into 4. We got a big battle here for second place with Pendle and Rowdy. Those two back and forth between each other as the rest of the field kind of bumping around a little bit too. Thunder is in that mix as well here. This could be interesting to say the least, who can get into this. Let's go on board real quick with Rowdy and see what he's sounding like in the gears. Making his move down on Pendle there, going into turn 3 into turn 1 into 2 as he makes a move past Pendle, at least on the inside for the moment, but Pendle is not going away here, folks. And now even Pottles is starting to make her move, drafting off of Pendle, giving him a little bit of push and a little bit of help for her.
I tell you, when they're in the corner, they're spending a bit of time off the throttle in the corner.
I think that's really needed though on this track. When you need to get out of the throttle, that pretty much will conserve a lot of your tire wear and help you out.
See Pottles try to get on the outside of the number 2 at the minute.
Graham, are you seeing anything in the back there with any of our other drivers that you know of in the points?
Back here wise, I mean, not that I see here wise. So back here with Milk Dud. I believe he was part of the playoff picture there too as well.
Indeed he is.
Yeah, he's just running back here. I'm going to say top 5 maybe, roughly.
Well, top 5 finish usually is good on most tracks, but this is not, in his case anyway, where you want to finish. You want to get up in the top half where Dylan is right now, because he is currently looking more and more like he's going to punch his ticket to the dance as Rowdy still battles it out with Pottles. Pottles getting dropped back from Pendle. Pendle going into second place there.
What do you think? Do you think they're able to conserve their fuel and maybe make it last, or do you think they'll have to go for another pit?
I honestly, for me wise, actually, if I was them, or at least one of the drivers, I would conserve, or at least try to back my corners up a little earlier, just so I can at least save some tire wear for a couple laps, so I don't burn my tires off and then get a final good run out of the car with, like, let's say 3 to 4 to go. Just give one good push on it. But that's just me wise.
Mind you, I must admit that caution did, I believe, help Dylan out a lot to make him get back to pull that lead in, because I believe he needed that. I'm
kind of wondering in a way if maybe he actually had pitted and fixed up a few of his tires and maybe put some more gas in, because if anything, this track is still going to eat you away a little bit, but if you're able to get at least some right-siders and a full tank of gas, you have a better chance to actually stay out there and really give these guys a show, to say the least. Still a pretty good battle here as Pendle now making a little bit of some moves, kind of closing the gap a little bit on Dylan. It's still anybody's race here, folks. So we got 4 drivers right now. All it takes is just one good little draft and a little bit of bumping, and there you go. We got ourselves a race.
I believe it is about 22 laps remaining.
22 laps remaining. I wonder how these tires are looking. Can you see where Bottles is right now at her tires since you have her stream up?
She's not got her tires up at the minute, but...
That's alright. I think we can take a pretty good guess for how bad they are right now. As Pendle now catching on the draft of Dylan, as they will be going around King Joey here. King Joey staying out of the way for all these drivers. Class Act. Wait a minute. He's going up a little bit there. That could be problematic. I would have told him stay down a little bit more if he can as they go up high. And now King Joey trying to figure out where they're going. They're just going all over the place thinking, man, what are you guys doing? I'm trying to stay out of the way. Y'all trying to wreck me.
Yeah, this is the point where drivers, they won't want to wait about. They will want to get into that first place.
Oh, look at this. King Joey giving a little bit of a bump to Pendle as Pendle makes the move down low on Dylan. Can he get around him into the straightaway there? Not quite enough there. Dylan still holds on as they go into turn 3. It's hard to believe King Joey, a hard racer in his own right, just not able to make it into this series, at least into the top bracket. But I believe he is in the top bracket for, I believe maybe the Cup Series, because I believe the trucks, well, let's take a look here. Yes, indeed, he is in the Cup Series actually for the top 4, so he has made the playoffs there. Pottles actually, even though she is way back there and not quite in this Xfinity Series, she's made 2 of the series top 4. She's in the trucks with me and in the Cup with Archon and Dial as well.
Well guys, there's a good 12% between our front rights and our rear rights. So that front right is eating up a lot.
Gotta be wearing and tearing at this point. You gotta imagine just what is going through their mind, just thinking, man, I gotta serve, I conserve, but they're just, it's getting late. I gotta start making moves. As we near down our final laps here.
We are less than 20 laps remaining.
Indeed, 20 laps left to go. Pendle still trying to get around Dylan. Dylan is maintaining control though and maintaining his race. But the question I have for him is, can he maintain that the entire time to the finish? He has yet to win a single asphalt track this entire season. I think he's looking for redemption now finally.
If I was the 3 cars behind them, I'd try and work together to try and just get that extra speed to get by him, instead of each car fighting for each position.
I think that's a good idea in theory, Sean, but unfortunately I think these guys are a little bit more focused on trying to just outdo each other. But I think Pendle is getting your idea there as Dylan goes way up high. Slams the door on there, not quite enough, as Rowdy's still trying to make a move on them. Pendle currently holding the position, but being blocked by Dylan.
Is King Joey still a lap down?
He is still a lap down, and actually right as they come out of turn 2, there, Dylan and Pendle have now battled out. They're going side by side as we go into turn 3. It's going to be anybody's race as they come out of turn 4 here. Back down on the top, up to the high. He went out for a burger and fries and came back with some steak and loaded baked potato. Pendle now has the lead.
Where did that analogy come from, Chris?
When you're a little bit hungry, you think of good stuff. And I think Pendle right now thought, I'm a little hungry, so I'm going to go out and find me some good stuff. And he found something better than what Dylan was serving up. Pendle now.
13 laps remaining, guys. 13 laps remaining.
13 laps remaining. It's still anybody's race here. It's no telling who is going to take this one here. Dylan and Pendle are just battling it out. But I will say this. If Dylan finishes second place, I believe that's enough to put him into the top 4. Because J.D. Atkins at this point has unfortunately been pushed down to the back and into the back of the field. So he won't get as many points as what Dylan will. And I think that's going to be just enough because he only needs 4 ahead of Atkins to get into the top 4. And he's already got stage bonus points in.
Well, I'm just looking at Pottle's screen. She has got 9 laps of fuel remaining, so it looks like there will be another pit stop.
Oh, I got to stop you right there for a minute, Sean. We got a little bit of a race here with Pendle and Dylan yet again. Dylan going down low out of turn 2 as they go side by side yet again, but Pendle holds the line and goes into turn 3 with the lead still.
I believe it's no pit stops with 2 laps remaining on the right, or is it more than that?
Oh, Dylan goes into the wall!
Hard wreck by
Dylan. He's spinning.
Into turn 4 into the wall. I gotta believe he overdid it, or he just overcorrected himself and just pushed it way too hard.
Did that put him out of the championship running?
I am not for sure there right now. Pendle leads it. Rowdy behind him. Oh my goodness, folks, that just changed everything. I'm trying to figure out where Dylan is currently right now because I see Pottles up there. I believe she is now in 4th or 3rd. So that would make... She's in 4th, so that would make Dylan in 5th place. But then now that answers my question. But now my biggest question is Thunder. Yes, indeed, he is right behind him. And Thunder is ahead, so if he can maintain position, he's actually going to get into the top 4 ahead of Dylan. That could have been huge for him.
Sorry, Pottles is now in 3rd. Sorry. I
Third
keep forgetting our broadcast is slightly delayed compared to ours.
Yeah, we need to get some of these guys to do their broadcast, and I'm going to set up a big computer center, system center, and I'll make sure we got all the races right where we need it.
But I think there is going to be another pit stop.
Dylan is going into the pits right now, actually. And so is Cods.
Just looking at the tyres, they're going to be 4 laps short, 4 or 5 laps short, maybe 6 laps short for the full race, so I reckon there will be a pit stop.
I think King Joey is actually going to benefit off that. The fact that Dylan went into the pits, if he's able to get ahead and maintain some positions, he might be able to actually get back into this. JD Atkins, I'm not sure where he's at actually currently, but he might actually now have a chance too, because once Dylan went into the pits, if they can stay out and get past him and get ahead a little bit, I think this could really change the race up.
Oh guys, Grandpa's got a lot of damage on his front left. There must have been some contact in the back. Look.
Pendle and Rowdy have pitted as well, so now there will be a bit of a change in the race here. Still an absolutely big hit on the face of Dylan. I gotta believe that is the biggest heartbreak of the season for him, in my opinion.
Pendle's is just coming out of the pit now, guys.
Pendle is out on the pit. Rowdy now going outside, trying to get his speed back and try to get ahead of Pendle. We'll see how well that works here.
Pottles have just came out of the pit as well.
Can you see by chance where the positions are at for them?
I can't at the minute because she's in the pit, so her position's not coming up. I'll tell you when she's out of the pits what position she came out at. But I can tell you it's a 17-second pit stop.
A lot of damage to that car and a lot of stuff to work on. I gotta believe there's gotta be some work to do there. Now, Graham, I gotta ask you, you've seen a lot of the series races and all that, but what would you say is probably the hardest part of racing any season for a league?
Trying to keep consistent, honestly. I feel like that's even on my pet peeve for myself. I'm still learning how to do it. I've been my own league I'm running with the Giggity for almost about a season and a half to almost 2 seasons. And I'm still trying to run consistency. It's a very hard trait to try to learn.
I just want to answer your question there, Chris. Dylan has overtook Pottles. Pottles is in 6th, Dylan's in 5th.
5th place for Dylan right now. That'll be a big game changer. I believe Pendle and Rowdy are still in the lead. I don't think that will be changing anytime soon. It looks like Pendle now is just absolutely running away with this race. I believe it was Rowdy, actually, in all honesty, that chose this track as well, because I believe he won at Talladega.
The Pottles has just overtook Milk Duds in the 23. I don't know where he was in position, but she is now coming up to, I believe it's Thunder in the 00.
So easy to make a mistake, and it's so easy to just think to yourself, God, man, I wanted to win so bad. I wanted to get this spot so bad, and what did I do wrong? And sometimes you just got to trace it back to the beginning of the season to the end before you even really make an acknowledgement about this race.
I tell you what, Pottle's car, she is overtaking people like they're not there at the minute.
she might have been able to get something going there. If she found a way to get her set up faster and got up to the spot, she could actually play the spoiler here and really hurt a few of these guys that are trying to get into the spot. Remember, folks, Thunder is in the 3rd place spot right now, but the 4th is still open. JD Atkins has the 4th currently, but Dylan, Milk Duds, and Joey King Joey, excuse me, I always confuse his name. They are still in the spots to get to the top 4 for the dance.
Yeah, honestly,
Guys,
my heart
we've
goes
only
out
got,
to
I
Dylan
believe,
right now.
I'm sorry guys, I believe we've only got 2 or 3 laps remaining at this race.
Graham, what you got to say there?
My heart goes out to Dylan. That kid's been pouring his heart out tonight, trying to at least get his first win. And I know where he's coming from. I really do. It sucks.
Well, indeed, it is just absolute heartbreaker for him tonight. It's going to be interesting to see how the points go, but it looks like tonight, as we come down to our final laps, it looks like Pendo will take home the checkered flag here, as long as he doesn't make any mistakes.
Dylan's in 3rd and Portals is in 4th, I've just seen that.
That might be enough for Dylan, but my question is then is where Thunder might be down lower in the bracket. He might need to pull out a big victory here if he needs to get spots in.
Guys, I think they could just be coming onto the last lap.
As they come out of turn 4, Pendle looks to right the ship, and tonight he beats Rowdy on his track he chooses and wins at Charlotte Oval.
I'm not sure if that was the last lap. It was either.
You made me set that intro up for all that.
It's kind of hard because it's.
We had
2 or 3 laps really.
We had to add a little humor in there tonight, guys.
Hey, we make mistakes.
We're all going to make mistakes. I've made plenty. Right? Well, I believe this is the final lap, so Pendle yet again going to get around that checkered. Nah, it looks like maybe that is the final. No, I don't think so. Actually, yes, that is. Pendle is slowing down, so he will take the win there. Sparkalicious going to the finish line here, and there comes JD Atkins and Thunder. And they seem to be slowing down as well. So that is the end of the race here, folks. Thunder finishing ahead of Sparkalicious. And Naughty Milk Duds now coming up the rear. So a tough break for him on this track. He really wanted to get into that top 4 tonight, I can tell you. But unofficially...
We'll get you the official results in a minute. As soon as they come up on my screen, I'll shout them out to you. Again, a nice, good, clean race by all drivers.
I believe we did not have any cautions that race either. Oh no, we had one.
We've got Pendle, Rowdy in 2nd, Dylan in 3rd, Portals in 4th, Thunder in 5th, Sparklicious in 6th. I thought I'd do the top 6 instead of the top 5 just to give someone else a mention.
No, I definitely needed the top 6. Could you say who they were again?
No Pit, Pendle, Rowdy, Dylan, Bottles, Thunder, and Sparkalicious.
I honestly, if we're going to go off of that right now, I can tell you right now, it looks like in the top 4, if I'm right, Pendle, Rowdy, Thunder, Dylan.
Also, Dylan just made it.
Just barely, it sounds like. But again, that is just off my calculations and my math. I'm not for sure there. We're going to get the top 3 drivers in here in just a moment. If you want to stay tuned with us, we appreciate it. If you want to head out for the night, we thank you again for tuning in tonight. And if you are watching this later in the time we recorded, we appreciate your support in watching this view. And we hope you like, share, and subscribe this channel up, as well as go follow the Facebook channel at Pedal to the Metal Racing League.
Well, guys, what's your analysis on that racing?
I'd say that's some hard driving right there. Dylan did get the fastest point, so it looks like hello Dylan. So it looks like he is going to get the bonus point off of that and get some big needed points to get into that top 4. It looks like. So
can y'all hear me good?
Yeah, we hear you pretty good, buddy.
Okay, that cut me off.
All right, so You have Dylan, then we have Pendle and Rowdy, I believe, right? That was in the top 2?
I do believe.
Okay. Let's get Rowdy up here real quick. There's Rowdy. And we'll get to Pendle here in just a minute. But, Dylan, we got to start with you real quick here. You finished 3rd. You were gaining for the points. You were going for it all tonight. You had the lead quite a bit in there. But then you had that big wreck at turn 4. What were you thinking after that?
I thought it was done. I'm not sure what happened there. I got to the back, I think it was the 42, and just, I don't know what happened. Just slammed me to the wall, and then I went through the grass, and I thought, okay, it's done now. I got no chance, but finished pretty good.
And then in a race like this, that definitely matters, especially with the points as high as they are and needing to win. Definitely a big move on your end and good racing to the end there for you. So congratulations again if we're correct as well. This is the unofficial results, but we have said that it is Pendle, Rowdy, Thunder, and you, Dylan, in the top 4 to the final race.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, sounds good.
Cool.
All right. Well, thank you again, Dylan. Good luck out in the next week.
Thank you.
All right, Rowdy, I got to put you on the spotlight here, sir. You had a tough battle with Pendle all the way through. You're having some battles with everyone else. But second place here on Charlotte Oval, you got to be proud of that.
Oh, yeah, for sure. It was a good run. I think the top 3 was pretty even there at the end. But when I took 2 tires, it just didn't agree with my car and just lost ground on Pendle.
Well, it looks like you are also in the playoff picture tonight. After tonight, as long as you came in, you secured it, and indeed had to come out and show up some of these youngsters and all the new guys. So, congratulations tonight, making the playoffs, and we'll hope to see you next week.
Hey, thank you.
All right, and now for our winner tonight, Pendle. I'm gonna put you on the spotlight here. You had fought Dylan from 2nd place and 3rd for a little bit too. You two seem to have a battle in that 1st stage and the 2nd, but that 3rd stage is where you really took over. What was going through your mind when you took the lead?
Well, I was just trying to manage my tires, man. I took the lead from Dylan. Me and him was running. Well, not just me and Dylan, but me and Rowdy. We all 3 was running pretty good. Had some good battles, but I took the lead, and I was just trying to run my line and trying to be as smooth as I could and not make no mistakes. Because in that 1st stage, beginning of 1st stage and beginning of 2nd stage, I made some mistakes. So I was just trying to be patient and not mess up my lines. And you know, I apologize to Dylan. I don't know what happened there, but he got on my bumper, and I was in my mirror watching him. He was trying. I don't know if he was trying to push me and draft me or what. Come out of 4, his car took a dead right, and I wasn't trying to block him or anything. So if that was on me, I apologize. But I'm glad that he can run for a championship next week. But overall, it was a good night. Glad to get the win and hell of a good race.
Indeed it was. We had a lot of fun podcasting this tonight and talking about it as commentators for this race. Congratulations again, No Pit Pendle. And remember, you will be racing next week with Rowdy, Thunder, and it looks to be Dylan as well added in. That is the unofficial results, but that's what we've done with our calculations here. Congratulations again on a hard-fought race.
Thank you. Good luck, guys. I can't wait till next week, and may the best man win.
Hell yeah, buddy. Good luck.
Hey, thank you.
Thank you. And I'm off to another league race, guys. Good luck.
Good luck to you.
See ya.
This line just doesn't stop, eh?
All right, guys. Well, we got to stop somewhere, unfortunately. So tonight we are going to sign off. But before we go, we need to say a big thanks again to our sponsors tonight who presented this race, Dirt Trackin for your mobile and iOS and Android devices. If you're looking again for a great racing, but you can't quite go to the track and you're on the go, be sure to pick up this game. It is a lot of fun, a lot of good dirt track racing, and some sliders to be had. Pick it up on your iOS and Android devices. Again, special thanks to Dirt Trackin for presenting this race in this series tonight. For Grim, Sean, I believe that is the end tonight, guys.
Oh yeah,
It's been a tough fought race, and it was good to watch.
Oh yeah.
Before we go, any final thoughts? We can make this quick.
It ought to be an awesome championship race come next week. I'll tell you right now.
Yeah, for sure. I am looking forward to it. So next week wants to hurry up.
I wish next week would hurry up too. Not for sure there. We will get back to you, though, on the page and also on the live stream here soon enough. But for tonight, we have to end it right here. So thank you again to everyone that tuned in tonight via YouTube and Facebook. And if you come and watch this later on, be sure to like, share, and subscribe to the YouTube channel and go like up the Facebook page. Well, for me, from Crusader, Sean, Siddle, and Grim Sanity, this is Pedal to the Metal Racing Xfinity Series. So until the next time, till the green flag flies, good night, everybody.